So hi everybody, it's Jane from Living Skies Vintage and Creative back, and I have another card, another prompt card that I need to do to catch up. And I will give you the list of the prompts that I have to use for this on this card. And if you want to do something similar, or you want to do these exact same cards, please join me over at Kathy Berg's channel on Hangout and Art, and she does this every Tuesday morning, and I have promised myself that I am going to do one every week this year. So I am catching up because I was away on vacation. I just have last week's to do, which is the 15th, and those prompts were to combine fabric and paper, and I will show you how I'm going to do that. Bib overalls is another prompt. Platypus, an inanimate object, and then we needed to use colors of royal blue, dark brown, copper, cornflower blue, and meadowlark. So I have assembled what I am going to use. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is paint my card. And what I thought I would do this time around is just go with a kind of a stencil template of the different colors that I want to use. And for the base, I'm going to use the dark brown. And then I'm going to put on this yellow-green, which is kind of what Meadowlark is. This will be my royal blue, and then I have some Artist Loft copper, excuse me. So I'm just going to put a little dab of each of these in my paint tray. Now these are just little trays that I collect from food sources that I just find are just easy to use. Now that one's a little bit thick, but that's okay. I will be able to fix that. I do have some, do I have some water? I might have to go and get some water. But let's see how all this turns out. We'll see. That's the Meadowlark. This is actually kind of a nice combination. And then I'm going to put on the copper in here too. And we'll just put that one way over there for now, because I may end up using a lot of that. Now, I have no water. Nope, no water. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I have my water. So there we go. Got my little bit of water there. And I have some older brushes over here, and I have some credit cards, which I find to be a lot of fun to use when you want to paint something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dark brown first of all that I have, and oh yes, I forgot to prime my card. So I'm just going to wipe that off a little bit, and then I have to sand it because you really need to give it something to grip onto. The other thing that you can use is gesso, but I don't have any at the moment. But what I do have is some nail files, and I'm just going to quickly just roughen up this surface so that my paint will stick to it and my glue will stick to it, and anything else I decide to do to this card today will stick to it. So give me 1 second while I do this. This is just an old nail file too. It's like, it's not. And the one thing about these is, even if you did buy them, to use them just to do this, they're cheap. And then you always got a nail file in the house too. That's the other thing. It's one of those things that if you have them, you're going to use them. Okay, that seems to be pretty scruffed up. I have my old paint cloth here. I'm going to take a little bit more of that brown. Where'd it go? You know that you're on camera when you can't find what you're looking for. Oh, I had it. That's not it. Nope, that's not it. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Hold on, just over here, off to the side. I'm actually going to put some on the card. And I'm going to mush it around with this. With this is just a one of those cards you are always getting in the mail. I just want to get kind of a background color down because I'm going to stencil these other colors on top of it. And I thought at best this would be a better background than anything else. So got that done. Going to let that dry just a little bit. In fact, I'm just going to take it over here. Hold your ears for just a shake while I just dry that paint a little bit. All right, that's done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start stenciling some of these colors down. So it was royal blue, dark brown, copper, cornflower blue. Oh, I'm going to use that up with the fabric, which is combined fabric and paper, and the Meadowlark. Okay, so first we'll do some royal blue. Let's get some of that down. And I just, maybe it doesn't work quite so well with that. I'm going to use my brush. And I have an old brush, so let's do, that's much better. That's more like what I want to get done. It's more like that. Kind of inside. And this paint's pretty thin. I'm going to pull that out. There we go. I like that. Get that, a little bit of that off. And my cloth is on the floor, of course. That's where everything ends up, isn't it? Get some of that paint off. Yeah. Okay. So let's just put this down again. And we'll put it on this side because I do want to put it on. I don't want to be painting exactly the same where I had before. Let's get this Meadowlark color that we want down. Might need to put some more of that paint on. I think I'm going to because it's pretty thin. This is well, I won't even say what kind of paint it is. I bought a whole bunch of paints when I first started of acrylic paint just because I wanted a bunch of different colors. Well, it's not the best paint. It's pretty thin. Doesn't have the body that I would prefer in a lot of acrylic paints. So there you go. I guess you get what you pay for. All right. See, but it works pretty good when you want to do some stenciling. That's not bad. Okay. And then the last color that I want, and I can always highlight these colors more with acrylic felt markers, acrylic markers, or I just didn't have quite the colors. I do have better your royal blue though than that is showing up, so I might do that. But I wanted kind of a rough base, and then I want to put some copper in here. We're going to do it like this. Alrighty, Now the copper is a good paint. The copper is actually, I think it's an Arctics. Here, Artist Loft. Artist Loft. It's not a bad paint. It's way better than this other one that I had. But anyways, copper. Oh, that's what I should have done. And I might do it yet. Okay, blue and that Meadowlark and copper. All right, just gonna stick my little paintbrush in there. Give this just a little bit of a wipe anyways. Not in too bad shape. Now, I'm abusing my card a little bit. I'm gonna just pick it up, touch, and give it another quick dab. Copper paint's still a little bit tacky. So we'll carry on from here. I think I'm going to add some of my acrylic paint markers. I've got a number of different colors of Posca, which I like to use. So I'm just going to pull them out to see if I can get a better color of royal blue. Anyways, here's a better royal blue. We'll just outline some of the royal blue dots that exist. Not too bad. You're not going to see a lot of that by the time I'm done. Now, that's done for the moment. I'm not going to do anything with that, but I need to get something done with this. Now, this is the fabric that I decided to use because it said to combine. Where is it again? My list here. Combine fabric and paper. Well, this is going to be my paper. Here's my fabric. I'm going to combine it. And I'm going to do it, I think, by weaving it. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to weave the fabric up, back and forth within that, because I can. And I have some pinking shears here. So I'm just going to, because I don't want the fabric to fray all along the side. I don't really care if it's terribly straight. Not at the moment, because it might all, and this is going to be my cornflower blue. So I just want to cut a couple of strips. Come on. Pinking shears can be very fussy. Those teeth. I want to do at least 3 strips. If I can get 5, that would be great. So this is 2. Put that there. Let's try this. So you guys probably can't see what I'm doing. Holding it so close to me. I'm trying to get 3 more strips out of this. So if I get this one, I can divide the rest of it in half. And I should get a total of 5 strips. Okay, this one I'm going to start at the skinny end because it'll be easier. Sorry if I'm off camera. I just... I'm always grunting and groaning. I don't know why. I've got to learn how to stop that. It's not that frustrating or that difficult to do any of this. There we go. Okay. That was my plan. Now, I've got 5 strips. I want to weave 5 strips in this card. So in order to do that, I want to make 5 sections that I can go back and forth on. So I need my little knife. Little X-Acto knife. Where are you? It's usually in my set of things here. I don't see you there. Sorry people, I'm rattling through a couple of drawers here. I'll see it there. Oh, here it is. Here it is. See, I have a little tiny one. And I have a metal ruler, which is here by my, should be here by my, actually this will do. And don't mind my tummy, I think it's growling. This is a piece of aluminum that I'm going to use instead of a metal ruler. It still has a straight edge. So I'm going to do one. Oh, that didn't go very straight. We'll see how this works. It's always an experiment. Two cuts. What's one slat? There's my stomach again. That's two slats. In case you're wondering, I do have a cutting mat underneath this parchment paper. And that's going to be 3 slats, and that's good because that's about the middle of the card. That number 3 is going to go down. Some of the paint's making it a little hard to cut, but that's okay. Four slats. Oh, yep, that's working out good. And then 5 slats right at the edge of where the face card is. 5 slats. So I got that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each one of these and go over, under, over, under, over. One. And then this one will go want to go under that, over that, under that. I want to get the outside edge in there too. Sorry, I'm banging my foot on my stool here, which I shouldn't do. Over and under. And that's number 2. And 3. It's coming along. And 5. Come on, I can't grab it. There it is. There we go. So, yeah, I don't know if I would have been able to get too many more fabric in here because it's hard to manipulate the card, and I tore it just a tiny bit there. But I think that we can fix that. What I'm going to do is do this. Put all these down here, make that the bottom. And you down here. And then this one down here. And then I only have to move this one just a little bit. This one here. And there. I've made kind of a little quilt with my weaving quilt with my card. Like that. I do. What I'll do is I'll just glue these ends down, but I can do that after I get this part done. Pull you through just a little more. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like that. Yeah, this way. This way. Now, what else did I have on that list? I've combined the fabric and paper. I need bib overalls, a platypus, and an inanimate object. Well, that's going to be my inanimate object. And I have a platypus and a guy in overalls. They're going to be here. I might fix the platypus. He's going to be touching the platypus. Like so, I think. Put him around there. I also have platypus is the meaning, and they expound upon it by calling him a duckbill. So I think I'm going to put theirs in there somewhere. Platypus at the top. I think I'll put this down here more because it's a little heavier. keep moving them around until I find a good place. Duckbill. And then my inanimate object. I cut him out. Not sure why. Not sure why he's in this picture yet. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Platypus to cut off his seam there. Right there more. His head can go behind it. Then I'll do this like that. I like that. And then pawn. That's a pawn. I think I'm going to cut him out. Pawn. How can I say pawn? Something about pawn in a platypus's life. Well, I'm going to think about that one. I think I've got what I want to do with these guys done, and this. I'm just going to put some little spots of glue down so that the fabric will stick. And then I'll put a weight on it for a while after I've glued the other things. Why aren't you gluing? Hold on. Oh, you should be gluing. You don't seem to have a plug. Let's try that again. There we go. So I'm just going to lie that there. I'm sorry, I'm just putting a little dot on the fabric. I'll flip it over in just a second, do the other side, and then we'll weight it down for a little bit again. Oh, just a little bit of fabric. And there we go. And I'll flip this over. Wah. And I just want to glue these bits of fabric to the card. I don't know why I hold my breath when I'm gluing things. Do you guys hold your breath when you glue things? I feel like I do anyways. Okay, so then he's gonna go there. And I'm gonna put my little weight on that for a bit. I'm gonna hold on to these dudes, and I think I'm just gonna cut this guy down. I'm not going to cut him out precisely. Okay, I think I have an idea. It's corny, but I think I have an idea. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'll think about it a little bit more. I should look for some words too. And if it works for me, then that'll be good. I'm thinking about, see, that's a pawn. That's a chess piece. Game of life. You know, that type of thing. Where did I put my words? I think there. Here. beside me? No. No. There they are. I knew I had them out. So here it is. This is the one of the things I'm doing this year is I'm trying to use up all of my supplies. I spent a lot of money at first when I was buying supplies, and I just kind of thought, no, I've got so much, I don't really need to buy new things. I want to use up the things that I'm not currently using and see if I really like them. I know which things I'm leaning towards more often than not. So anyways, this is one of the things I purchased. It's a set of stickers of just saying small talk. It's called Tim Holtz, and I've got a pawn, a platypus, and a guy in denim jeans. And I got thinking about, like, you know, not a pawn in the game of life, or just playing a game, or not being a pawn, or so I'm not sure if I have anything in here that's kind of like that. You know, yeah, party, no, that's not good. Brave with your life, just because. Well, that would work. That would work. Never doubt your instinct. Trust your crazy ideas is kind of not bad. I pulled out that pawn, and I really shouldn't decide on just that. I kind of like, no, not that. I don't know if any of these speak to me today about these pictures so far. I know what I want to do. I'm going to get that dictionary where I got these from, and I'm going to put the meaning of pawn in there. And then I will write something here that I think I want to write down. Where's my dictionary? Where's my dictionary? There it is. You can tell there's nothing that's too far away from me, eh? So I'm just going to look up the meaning of pawn. Like, this is an old dictionary. This is old. This is like one of my kids' books, I swear. Well, how old is it? It's a junior dictionary, so it shows kids how to find things. Anyways, I'm looking for the word pawn. P-A-C. Cut out platypus. P-A-W. Palm. Panel. Pansy. papoose, paprika, papyrus, parable, paragraph, parson, paste, oh, pasteurize, P-A-W, pathy, pause, pave, pawn. Here we go. Ah. Pawn. There's also pawn in the name of chess. So here we go. That's the one I want. Not to pawn the verb, but pawn the noun. It's too bad there's a peacock on the other side. All right, I have pawn, I have platypus, that seems nice and flat now. And I am going to, I don't want to have these too long. I almost cut my finger with a pinking shear. That would be horrid. There we go. It looks like a little quilt now, doesn't it? Okay. Got that. Got that. Throw that in the garbage. Let's get you moved over. I'm going to put him down. Him in here. Kind of like this, I think. Put his hand there. That hand there. Like that. Think? I think so. That platypus maybe a little more like that. So he doesn't have his. But I'm going to put him there. Come on. Stay there for a second while I get the platypus ready to stick down. Platypus head, kind of there. I want these guys up there, up top. This one here. And I hope you can see this. Doop, doop, doop. I've got glue on them. I'm trying not to stick them down too hard because I may want to slide something underneath something else. And so platypus and the duckbill up here. Because what they didn't really describe the whole thing under platypus. And then pawn down here. Oh no, that's what I meant to do. See, you guys didn't remind me that I meant to put these words a little more like that, so that his seam was covered up. There, that's better. Let's fix the platypus one. And then that'll be a little more like so. Like so. Want his hand on top of him, you there, like that. Okay, just going to put my weight on this, and then I'll add some pen work to kind of highlight everything. Hold on. Okay, so it's a little bit dry. It's not perfect, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put kind of a white space up here again, just so I can print on it. Okay, and maybe some little bit down there. Okay, then I want to outline don't know if that's gonna work. Let's see. That might. Yeah. Actually, not with that. That's not what I want. Oh my goodness. What I want is a little bit of this stain, if I can get it to work. This will work. My hoo-hoo alcohol markers. I want to kind of put a little bit of a stain on the outside edge of the paper here. That's maybe a little too dark brown. Something a little more terracotta, I think. Yeah, more coppery. Kind of just do a little bit of an edge on that paper. Not too big. Not too big. And then I'll do one on the pond. Stick the outside tray outline. There we go. That picks them up a little bit. And then I think what I'll do is I will put some royal blue around that pond right there, just to bring the royal blue out again some more. There we go. Paint him up. Okay. And I think I'm going to actually do a little bit of black around the people, just because they're not standing out to people. And the guy in the platypus, the person in the platypus, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But I want my black one, I think. I think I want the black one. So, where are my black Poscas? They're usually out on my desk. Oh, here it is. Right here. I also use it to do some lettering sometimes, which I will in a moment. What I want to do is I want to outline this pawn. That's my inanimate object. And then the platypus, I think just needs to be outlined a little bit, as does he. Just so that they kind of stand up off the page a little bit. I don't want to make it too dark. Just helps your eye come to the image, or I think it does, that you want it to look at, which right now is the platypus, that guy, and the pawn. The pawn cheek piece. So, what am I going to say about this? Well, I don't know, but I think I would rather be a platypus than a pawn. Even though a platypus is a small water animal of Australia that lays eggs like a bird, but nurses its young with milk, it's better than being an unimportant person or thing used by somebody to gain some advantage for himself. So I'd rather be a platypus than a pawn. And that's what I'm going to say. Be a platypus, not a pawn. Be a platypus. Platypus. Not a pawn. Not a pawn. So there we go. I think I did it all. I have combined my fabric and paper. He's wearing bib overalls. I have a platypus. Royal blue, the inanimate object is the pawn, and dark brown copper, meadowlark, and cornflower blue are all in there. Thank you very much, everyone. If you've made it this far with me, I hope that you'll give me a thumbs up, and please put a heart in the comments so I know that you enjoyed it, and come back again. Give me a subscribe too, and we'll see you again soon. Bye now.